everybody, welcome to IGN at E3 2009 Live. I'm Jessica Chobot, and I will be your host for 3 jam-packed days of game demos, interviews, and direct feed footage of all the hottest titles at E3 2009. So, what are the best games from this year's show? It's time to dive right in and find out. First up, we've got Halo 3 ODST. It is one of the biggest titles at this year's E3. Joseph Staten from Bungie is here to walk us through a mission from the campaign mode, and also joining us, we've got the lovely Hillary Goldstein from IGN's Xbox team. Aww! Hillary, take it away.
Sure thing. Thanks for coming by, Joe.
Sure.
So Halo 3 ODST, that's a great way to start off the show. This is not the story of Master Chief. So can you maybe just talk about where this takes place in the Halo's timeline?
Yep. Chief is busy saving the galaxy elsewhere. You are an orbital drop shock trooper, an ODST for short. You can see yourself on screen here. This takes place in between Halo 2 and Halo 3. We could call it a prequel to Halo 3, but it takes place weeks before the events of that game. Really, you're in the city, New Mombasa, which you were in Halo 2, but you're basically fighting the fight that the Master Chief left when he went off to the Delta Halo. So the Chief is elsewhere, doing important things. You're a human on the ground, doing other stuff.
Cool. Now, can you send him text messages or anything? Just follow his Twitter updates or anything?
He's out of commission. Slipspace is a very odd space-time continuum. You just can't get Twitter or anything. It's horrible.
No Facebook updates.
No
the
Facebook.
future is not as bright as we thought.
The Chief is lonely, just a single crystalline tear.
So why don't you run us through the menu real quick?
Sure. What you see here are all the core components to the ODST experience. You have the campaign, which is a great full-featured campaign, hours of gameplay, original story. Firefight, which is the brand new cooperative game mode that we talked about, and we'll get more into it later in our demo. And the theater, which is just the way that you access, say, films, file share, screenshots, all the great features from Halo 3 now brought to ODST. At last, we have the extras, which is where when you buy Halo 3 ODST, you'll get an invitation to the Halo Reach multiplayer beta. Well, this is how you access that beta when it goes live, is through the extras menu. And there'll be other post-launch content too, movies, that sort of stuff that you can download through the extras. And that's about it.
Cool, let's kick it off.
All right, so we'll just launch into the campaign. Campaign lobby will look really familiar for people who played Halo 3. We're going to drop right into the city of New Mombasa at night.
And in the campaign, you're going to still have all the stuff you expect from Halo 3, which is you're going to have the skulls, right? Correct? You're going to have the same types of difficulty levels with Legendary and Heroic.
Yep, absolutely. And the campaign, of course, has full support for co-op play, so you can play it with 3 of your friends for a total of 4 ODSTs charging around the city.
And the meta game will still be there, all the scoring and stuff will still work?
Yep, campaign scoring still works as well. When you start off the game in the nighttime city, you are the rookie, the newest member of your ODST squad. As the game begins, you're on a mission to assault this Covenant carrier that's hanging out above the city, but your mission doesn't go as planned. You get knocked off course, and you end up on your own inside your pod many hours, 6 hours after that cataclysmic event. So when you're able to get out of your pod and land in the city, you're on your own. None of your other ODST buddies are around, and your basic mission is to track down where they went and link back up with them.
And clearly, like, the visor has changed, the HUD is different. Can you explain that?
Sure. Your heads-up display is one of the many ways that we've made subtle tweaks to the game to make it feel more like an ODST. If I throw a grenade out here and get dangerously close, you'll see that my heads-up display gets a little bit red around the edges. That's an indication of my stamina. It's kind of like recharging energy shields, but the way that it's different is if I throw another grenade, when my stamina is low, I can start taking health damage. The green bar up at the top of my screen below the compass is my health. So my health is a little bit low after my drop. It's a good idea for me to get my health back up. So even though the city was pretty damaged by this slipspace event that you'll see at the beginning of the game, some systems still work, including this healthcare kiosk.
How convenient.
How convenient. And you're able to go up and just get a little med kit, and bam, my health is back up to full. So I've got some Covenant that are moving up on my position.
So they're in the game, you can confirm that?
Yes, the Covenant are in the game.
Wow.
This brute is charging me pretty hard, take him down. You can see it's pretty difficult to see enemies at night. Some of the lights have been knocked out. So we put another new tool in the ODST toolkit, and that's something we're calling the visor. Now the visor is a low light vision mode. Helps you see, and also just helps you track down enemies and take them out.
Now, can you use the visor the whole time, or is it on a limited time?
The visor is, there's no battery associated with it.
Okay.
So you're free to turn it on, use it as much as you want.
So you could play through the whole game with it on, if you wanted.
You could, yeah. It's definitely more helpful at night
Yeah.
than it is during the day.
Yeah.
So when we get to some of the daytime flashback scenes, you'll see that it's really just not as useful.
The one thing that I noticed is that there is no radar in this game, which I think people have gotten very used to in Halo.
That's correct. We've taken some things away from the ODST. There is no motion tracker. You can't jump quite as high. You can't run as fast. You can't dual wield weapons, and you can't use dropped covenant equipment.
But you can still teabag.
You can still teabag, indeed. You'll see you're a little bit shorter, so you get a nice sort of deep crouch on the teabagging. It feels really good.
Fantastic.
And that's
Teabag drag.
Teabag drag, indeed. Just sort of scooch along the ground a little bit. I just said that we took a bunch of things away. Don't think that we've totally nerfed the experience. We made some really careful choices to make it feel right. As one guy alone in the city, we wanted it to feel more dangerous, make you feel isolated, alone. So that when you run into Covenant, making different tactical choices than you would as a Spartan super soldier. So you have to be careful about the fights that you pick.
And one thing that's cool is that the pistol actually has a zoom in it, and it seems pretty powerful.
Pistol is pretty powerful. Once you take down an enemy shield, switching to your pistol, single shot, headshot kills. So in that way, it works a lot like the Halo 1 pistol. It's got a little bit of zoom, fires just as quick as you can pull the trigger, and again, a one-shot headshot on unshielded enemies.
So this actually feels a little bit closer to the Master Chief that we experienced in Halo 1. What was the reasoning behind kind of pulling back from, you know, that overpowered Master Chief that we had by Halo 3?
Yeah, I think in the Halo games, as the challenges the Master Chief took on got bigger and bigger, he needed to become more powerful, really become superhuman. So the Halo 3 Master Chief runs really fast, can jump over a brute, can get in and out of combat really easily. That doesn't feel right for an ODST. So we wanted to return to basics in some ways, make you feel a little bit more like the Chief did in Halo 1, more like a real person, not a Spartan super soldier. So that's really why we made the tweaks that we did.
So are you still known as the Master Chief in the game, or are you just like another soldier? You're part of the fodder now, and that's kind of...
Yeah, you're not a Spartan, you are an orbital drop shock trooper, you are
Strictly.
a Marine on the ground. But you know, the ODSTs, they aren't just normal Marines, they are the best of the best.
They're not
no,
punks.
No, they're
Yeah.
as good as you get short of being a Spartan. These grunts must know I have the pistol, they're running away from it.